What's up, everybody? It's the Best Spot Kids Moving. I'm back with another video, and today, man, when it rains, it pours as it becomes an Xbox fan. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, we had what did Xbox do? No, it wasn't a couple. It was a couple days ago. They raised the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. We know they raised the prices of the Xbox consoles. We know they've done a lot of things, but man, today, and you guys, this sound like a broken record, but I am retiring my fandom. As an Xbox fan, bro, like not as a Xbox fan boy. You know what I mean? It's like it sounds ridiculous, but I know I've never trusted Microsoft. Only thing I've ever enjoyed that what Microsoft does is Xbox, but in this economy and in this landscape of first it was cloud, now it's freaking AI. I can't stand it. And now like when bad Xbox news comes, right? It usually it's followed by a whole scape of rumors, and then those scape of rumors slightly become true, if not full blown. Like it all started back in 2024, 2023 when just 4 games to the whole slate and all that stuff, and we know how those rumors was breaking. They leaked this information, and then now this latest rounds of leaks, it's the worst case scenario. It's the worst. It's the worst case scenario because it's like I rather Microsoft sell Xbox to a Facebook and Apple, somebody, so that Xbox can exist as a gaming platform and a alternative to PlayStation and Nintendo, just another player in the game, right? Microsoft, because the thing is what Microsoft does when things don't work for Microsoft, they give up, and they give up to the point like me rage quitting a game. That's how they give up. They give up like bitches, man. They give up like that. They have like what they're about to do is not going to have an impact on anything. That's how they essentially give up. So the latest round of rumors is that Xbox will not move forward with the next generation console, whatever. That they're only going to focus on the software, the profitable softwares, the Call of Duties, the World at Wars, the Forza Horizons, Minecraft. Bulk of those games, really the hardcore gamers don't really care about. You know what I mean? Some of us will play Call of Duty, some of us will play Forza Horizon, but in Minecraft or World of Warcraft and all that other crap, none of that. No, that's just not us. No, it doesn't serve us nothing. So you got to ask yourself, okay, they raised the price of Game Pass. They realize they're not going to grow no more. Now, mind you, just to give you a heads up, when I used to complain about Xbox and growing Game Pass, majority of the Game Pass users exist on consoles. So once you stop selling consoles, once the console stop being your priority, your Game Pass subscribers are going to slow because your guaranteed Game Pass subscriber was going to come from a console user, because a console user had no choice but to subscribe. Like even if it was at the minimum tier, they had no choice but to subscribe. So that was an automatic subscriber. Every new console you sell was a subscriber to Game Pass. That was your only way. And when you stop prioritizing that, and then you still expect it to grow by millions and millions, it's like, bro, you can only grow at the rate of you selling consoles. Really? Yeah, PC is a bonus, cloud is a bonus. You kind of have to see what happens there. But your initial driver of Game Pass subscribers are on consoles. So yes, the growth is going to grow at the speed at the rate of your sales. Like that's common sense. It's like they don't realize where Game Pass subscribers is coming from. It's like they don't realize that. So now Xbox Game Pass prices up. I don't have the actual issue with that. Honestly, it is what it is, because I said what my maximum threshold was for Game Pass, and unfortunately it just got there too soon, right? But my issue now is that now I can't trust you to move forward with next generation, because I was already teetering whether I go next gen console. I was interested in this backwards compatibility like chip, that if it is a PC, it's like, all right, how are they going to allow me to get access to my Xbox One games, my Xbox 360 games, the games that aren't natively, there. You know what I mean? So that's what I was curious about. I really wanted to see that. But now it's like, now I have to make this pivot where if we're in a time where Microsoft, gives up like little bitches, they wave the white flag, they do that, your only options are PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, right? PlayStation, I'm sorry, is not a logical choice in this in the era of no competition. PlayStation is not a choice because they're not producing at a high level, right? They're only becoming more expensive as well. And I'm not interested in rebuilding a library there. I mean, I have a PlayStation, so it's not the biggest thing. So it's not more. So I'm talking about for just the average Joe. Nintendo, same thing. I'm just not interested. You know what I mean? I prefer Xbox the console. Playing on Xbox the console, I feel like they made the best hardware. They had the best controller. Their games are good. It's just that for some reason, like, people don't like it, and because people don't like it, they weren't able to sell, they weren't able to grow, whatever they're trying to do. They've had, like, at one point had the best deals in gaming, whether it was Game Pass, whether it was the Xbox Series S. You know what I mean? They've had some awesome ideas, and they just don't pan out. So now when you go to this, the nuke option, which obliterated, that's the worst possible outcome, because the industry just Nintendo and PlayStation, I'm sorry, like, I'm just not all that interested in. So now, luckily, Xbox has done, started this whole Play Anywhere thing and started porting their games to PC a lot early. So the crazy thing is, if I were to, like, back away from console and before the sync all the way ships, I'm not at a complete loss. I still have a library that exists on PC. So there's that. But, like, the thing I get worried about with this nuke option that's being leaked is because the one thing I find out, once they start leaking stuff on Xbox, like 95% of it becomes true. It's just this one that seems so hard to believe. So it's like, okay, you're going to nuke your consoles, right? So Costco already stopped selling them, and then you got other retailers discontinuing them or putting them on clearance. And I don't know what that means for Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart, and Target. We'll see what they do. But if you go into a store, you look at Xbox shelf space, it's already, like, non-existent. You got a little area full of cards, controllers, and they might have a box console in there that you can buy, right? So it's already non-existent, right? So you have to look at yourself and say, okay, this is going to have some horrible ramifications, right? Because when Microsoft quit, they quit hard and they quit fast, right? We all seen what happened with Mixer. It was here one day, the next day it wasn't. You seen what happened with Zoom and Skype and whatever. So you figure, okay, you guys are just going to give up on a 30 million Game Pass subscribers on consoles. You're not going to look to grow that. So some logic would tell me you bought all these studios to feed Game Pass and to become a publisher. But now, since you're only looking at more profitable stuff, that doesn't leave room for people like Undead Labs, Obsidian, In Exile. Bulk of the studios that you have doesn't fit that picture. There's only a couple. And like a couple under Bethesda, a couple under Activision, and a couple under your own house. Everybody else is due to either be sold off or no need to exist because they don't have the flexibility of making those games. So now it becomes a very dire situation, right? And you take that, and then what do you get rid of all your studios, and you just become a publisher publishing games on PlayStation and Nintendo and PC. So I feel like you're doing yourself more harm there. And then what, you damage the brand so badly, what you do, sell it off, or do you close it down, shutter it completely? Bunch of people without jobs. The industry is actually in disarray because even though you suck at what you do, you were a force in the business because you own a lot of studios, and a lot of games you make are high volume sellers or high volume usage rate. So this move, right, doesn't only kill Xbox, it negatively impacts the industry if No, if true. If true. So it's like, at this point, sell Xbox. I'm not interested in, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in PlayStation like that, to make PlayStation like, the last time I've primarily been a PlayStation gamer was PS2 days, bro. That's well over 20 years. I'll play whatever I feel is good, but not enough to where I'm just gonna, this is where the place I'm gonna play. My kids, they still young, I can do that for them. That's fine. For me, it's like, okay, that's not going to work. I'm never going to play it until last time I heavily played on a Nintendo platforms right around the time I was playing on PS2, which was the GameCube. Not doing that. I'm sorry. So the only logical choice here is PC. That's the only logical choice. And now I have to kind of really, I will probably keep an Xbox Series X around, because if they don't make another hardware, this is going to be a decent retro platform, unless they do something like shut down the servers or something and make the Xbox not work. Then it becomes a brick, and then you got to say whatever. I put nothing past Microsoft. Any rumor you can spread around them, there's a possibility of it being true. And I always expect Xbox, since the whole 4 games, I expect them, whatever they say they won't do, I expect them to do 10 times worse. So, and that is scary. So this is not a good thing. You know what I mean? It's not good at all for Xbox gamers, and it's not going to be good for PlayStation gamers either. You guys are celebrating this. And I know this is what you all really wanted. For some strange reason, like for some reason the hobby, the industry couldn't coexist with 3 platform holders, and everybody had to be in love with PlayStation and love PlayStation. Otherwise, they hated you, or they stress you out, or you're always in some sort of stupid online debate. But now that in reality, one of them is about to go, and then all you have is left PlayStation, who's been producing about 1 game a year. And now you can brag like that games are by default exclusive because there's no other platform to put it on other than PC. In that case, that's just circa PS2 2001, 2000, and 2002 maybe. You know what I mean? So at that point, yeah, like, so what does this mean for Grand Theft Auto? What does this mean? Like, you know what I mean? Do they even bother launching on Xbox if Xbox is not a viable platform, is not an option? If Microsoft is self-sabotaging, I'm sorry for the beeping, that's my coffee machine, is self-sabotaging its platform, it's making it more unattractive. Should developers really start, when you're producing games, prioritize a PC version as an option? But that's on Rockstar for not making like PC day one as well. You should always want to do that in some way, some fashion. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm actually nervous like I said, Xbox, I don't know what Xbox is going to do, but I don't like their options in the room. Usually you pick up something on a rumor that you can live with, that you can deal with. Like the whole going multi-platform, like, hey, if that's what it takes for Game Pass to remain, for them to sell games on PlayStation, and you sell games, you still make money on Game Pass, and you're making money on a back end for PlayStation. My thing is, right, if you said Call of Duty lost you $300 million by putting it on Game Pass, even though I think I do think that I think that's not exactly true, because wherever you lost it, I felt like they gained it somewhere. They had to gained it in Game Pass, maybe not all the way. But my thing is, if you just determine like, okay, this was a bad idea to put Call of Duty on Game Pass, well, Black Ops 6 was your test run. You don't have to do it with Black Ops 7. You really don't have to do it with Black Ops 7, right? Now you be like, you know what? This is the only protective game we really can't do, where we make it timed exclusive, where, for the first 6 months, you got to, a lot of these games, like, because if Call of Duty, like I said, comes out every year, 6 months, make it retail only. It's month 6, then you throw it in Game Pass. Like, that's how you do it. It's like they can't think. There's a lot of people in this world that are either so rich they're stupid, or they're so smart they're stupid. I've never seen a smart, logical person. Like, Every time I come across people that have so much money and so much smartness, they're dumb when it comes to just logical shit. Like, I don't understand what's so hard. Why is it that a company like PlayStation, right, can take L's, right? There's nothing that has stopped PlayStation from to be able to continue its thing. It's common. We sell games. We still do exclusives. We sell consoles. There's nothing that has stopped them. Like, no L they've taken has forced them to pivot, like, in a way that, and Microsoft has quadrupled the money. Like, my thing is that this is why I wish, like, Xbox was owned by a company that was only in gaming, because they will be willing to take the hits, as much hits that they can, because PlayStation can take hits and it just doesn't matter to them. It's like PlayStation's richer than Xbox, right? It's like PlayStation is richer than Microsoft, because they can take the hits and they weather the storm, they survive them, and it's business as usual. Well, Microsoft can't. And the thing is, I don't know what to do anymore, right? So I was like, I probably will retire gaming, like, from the gaming as a hobby, probably in the near future, because I'm not interested in gaming to that much where I want to game on PlayStation all the time. It hasn't been my preferred way to play. Neither is Nintendo. PC is a hard convert, right? Because I have to, like, treat it like a console, but it's not. It's just a weird platform, bro. Like, it's like, what the hell? Like, we need another platform. Like, I feel like this pivot that Microsoft makes is going to destroy the industry in such a negative way. And everybody's celebrating this and that and the third. People are so focused what's going on with Xbox, they realize PlayStation has literally put out like one game in a year. They haven't had to, like, it's like, and people are satisfied. Stop. And people are satisfied with that. You know what I mean? How can you be satisfied with that? And the thing is, it's like, and now imagine there's no Xbox, and whatever Xbox is producing, they're just another EA, because EA is going to be defunct anyway. The Saudis is taking care of that and divesting that, whatever, right? It's like, yo, gaming's in a bad place, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it, because somebody on the end of gaming has been ripping developers and publishers off, because gaming never really shouldn't have been this expensive, right? Never. I don't know how it's gotten this expensive, right? Somebody should have gotten smarter with gaming at Xbox or anywhere, because at the end of the day, gaming is a form of entertainment. You should have been competing or trying to get people off of movies, off of Netflix. That's what you're competing for, time. Because gaming takes time. Making all these dumbass, bloated, long-ass fucking games, right? Expensive-ass games. Nah, you should have been making 5-hour games that could be beat 5 times with different outcomes. That, you know what I mean? You got to compete with people when people are watching Netflix and Hulu. You want them to be playing video games. That's where the marketing should have went, to try to get people off of other not devices, but off of other mediums, because gaming is only so big. It's like, how can I get them to stop watching less Netflix, less Hulu, and playing more Xbox or more PlayStation, whatever? That's how, because that's what it is. It's a battle for time, a battle for money. We can't afford it all. But if there's no Xbox, man, and we could all be overreacting to a rumor, but the last big negative Xbox rumor turned out to be true, and it's been downhill from there on. I just don't understand how Xbox, with all these studios, with all these publishers, operate without a console. And how does Game Pass have a future if about 80% of its subscriber base is on a console? So, again, like I said in the X tweet, bro, to all the people that's been freaking bothering Xbox users or spend your days shit talking Xbox and Xbox fans, bro, when the Xbox finally sunsets, don't say shit to me, because we got nothing to discuss. Hopefully you're gaming and happily gaming, enjoying gaming. Hopefully you're just playing video games because there's shit to discuss. There's shit to discuss. Nothing. We ain't friends. We ain't none of that. We got nothing in common. The only thing we had in common was gaming. We just did it on different platforms. Fuck Microsoft. And there's nothing, like, I have no hope for this. And I mean, I hope it's not true, but signs point to it. There are. And I mean, look at the retail space. Look at everything that they've done. Like, only them can afford to do this shit, not care, and fuck everybody over. So fuck you. Fuck Microsoft. And I'm out of here. Peace.